Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Welcome back to Tuesday. Show me your nuts. My name's Stacy Brioka, your squirrel wrangler and hostess of Show Me Your Nuts. And this week is actually a pre-recorded show. But it's pre-recorded because it's way too early for a couple of us girls to get up in the morning, and we've got to get our sleep because sleep is important for mental health and mental wellness. And so this coming Tuesday morning, it was not going to be possible to have my dear friend on this show if I didn't pre-record and schedule it. And I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. So last week you met my dear friend, RJ Redden, and we talked about bouncing forward into our future memories so that we could figure out what it is we wanted to do and what our dream is, so that then our unconscious mind could create that resilient foundation of what would bounce us literally forward into that thing. So this week, we're going to take a step backward, if you will, maybe backward, and tackle a sneaky little protection mechanism that our brain does to keep us stuck. Yep, you guessed it, procrastination. Procrastination, though, for reals, is not laziness. Let me repeat that for you so that you hear me well. Procrastination is not laziness. It's your nervous system trying to keep you safe. It's your nervous system saying, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not ready for that thing, whatever it is. I don't have everything I need. I'm scared of that. I'm whatever. And so it's keeping you, it thinks it's keeping you safe. Granted, sometimes procrastination, what it does is put us in higher risky situations of, I didn't get that done, now I'm more nervous. So it does beg to be dealt with somehow. So today we're going to discover how resilience, that resilience we talked about last week, helps us plow through, if you will, that procrastination. How building foundations of systems that we talked about with some of the systems we may have talked about with Paula Allen on the show, how those help you have things in place so you can plow through the procrastination pieces, having things ready. So just to help me get ready, in the chat, and by the way, I will be awake Tuesday morning and I will be watching this. So I will probably be in the chat as well. Leave me a message. Tell me, on a scale of frozen squirrel to action ninja, similar to our ninja bot squirrel that you met last week, on a scale of frozen squirrel to ninja bot squirrel, where are you today? Where are you today? And let's chat about that just a little bit. And then I am going to welcome our next guest, who has a squirrel name. She just doesn't know it yet. Welcome to Show Me Your Nuts Studio, Miss Peggy McCarthy. Peggy is a certified professional photographer of 37 years experience. And what that means is, don't get your photos taken unless you're getting them taken by someone who is a certified professional photographer. They know their ish. They know what they're doing, not just how to get you in just the right pose and stick your neck out like a turtle and those things. At least that's what my professional photographer does with me. not just all those things. They know how to compose things. They know how the lighting works. They know how shadows work. They know how to make something look good based on what's in their viewfinder. And that is not just sticking something in your viewfinder and going, is it not, Peggy?
That is correct. And also, I kind of take it a step further. I am really passionate about making images really pop and convey part of your story. I've been a certified professional photographer for 37 years. This is true. And about 10 years ago, I started working with actors, and actors use their headshots for everything. Like if they don't even get the chance to show their talent unless their headshot is picked. And so that made me like really start researching and thinking about how our images are important to us. We live in a digital driven world. So this isn't just good for actors. Like we have a profile picture on every one of our social medias. We post pictures all the time. So not just a pretty picture, but an effective picture, something that actually pushes your brand forward. That's my special magic power with the photography.
So tell me, and I happen to know a little more about what you do with pushing that brand forward. As a matter of fact, next to you on the wall, if you can point to it, there's a little other side, the other way on the wall.
Oh.
There's a little logo that says, "Ask me about Global Business Plaza." So tell me about Global Business Plaza and what does it do? What does it have to do with those headshots and with pushing businesses forward?
Well, maybe it doesn't have anything to do with headshots, but that is definitely my secret squirrel power, is empowering businesses to thrive and make money. I started working with businesses about 5-6 years ago. Started with photographers and then creative businesses. And then it turns out that a lot of us business people don't like businessing. We like to focus on our craft. We like to focus on the things that are fun. And we just assume that if we're good enough, people will find us. And that's not how business works. So I help people, specifically creative people, but all different people, business people, learn how to do business in a way that it doesn't feel overwhelming and they don't need to procrastinate it. I put it into pieces where it's appetizing, I guess. Like, okay, I can handle this. I can do this. This isn't so overwhelming that I'm just going to shut down and ignore it, because I spent a lot of years. I tell people that the first 15 years of my business, I just happened to be lucky. I ran a very profitable hobby because I certainly was not running a business. I just made a lot of money, and I just happened to be lucky. And as soon as the economy switched, and as soon as everybody got a camera in their phone, and everybody's uncle could afford a DSLR camera, and people started using pictures differently, and consuming pictures differently, I realized that I had no idea how to run a business. And so I had to learn how to run a business or go get a job at, In-N-Out Burgers. Those were my two options. Because I knew nothing else.
So it does actually have to do with headshots, because people changed the way they were doing their headshots. Now, that doesn't make those the best headshots you can get. Let me be clear. I have headshots both from some, happenstance great photos that I've had, and but my original headshots for my business and the ones that have continued have been from professional photographers. And there's a difference in the photo. I mean, there really is.
There's a difference in the photo, because a professional knows what's going to look good on you, what camera angles, how to pose you, what colors and all of that. But the key that a lot of photographers miss is bringing in your emotions and really bringing in your story to move your brand forward. And that's a key that I realized is really important, because a pretty picture isn't going to move your brand forward, but an impactful picture, that's what's going to cause people to stop and go, oh, that's interesting. What's going on here? And let me stop and read what you have to say. If you have a picture that makes you subconsciously look like you're insecure, or if you're
Oh,
subconsciously, you've got your arms folded or something, and you look like you're unapproachable, then maybe people aren't going to approach you. And that may not be your personality at all. You may be the most outgoing, fun, trustworthy, approachable person out there. But that image is your first impression. And what that image says is not that. And so they're going to just keep on scrolling because they don't see why they should stop and talk to you. And so I go a little deeper than just making you look good, because we all want to look good. We all want a pretty picture.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The point is, we want to reach our ideal clients. And what story is that image going to tell them? What story is that?
And I think you bring up a really good point. When people see Alice on our show, she's got her arms crossed and she's got kind of this pensive look, right?
Yeah. Right.
And now that's important for her character because she is pissed.
Exactly.
When Alice is coming on right now, just as a model, by the way, but
she's not pissed at me, right? I didn't do anything.
She's not pissed at Peggy, and she's not pissed. She gets pissed at policies that are jacked up. So we'll let her get out of here. But I think you bring up an amazing point of, number one, it's not the number of pictures you take and the number of likes they get. It's the story or the qualitative data that story tells that gets people. Exactly. Stories are important. There's a picture of me from one of my photo shoots that had, one of my pictures is I'm standing like this, but the other picture is with my best friend in it, and she has her whisk. She has a bakery. She has her whisk and she's holding it like this at me, and I have my head thrown back in full on laugh. It is the best picture ever. I will see if I can find it and put it in the show notes of this, because it really does show both of us. It shows us in a very vulnerable but fun moment, and it tells the story of our friendship in multiple ways.
Well, so, I'm going to tell you, I know we didn't come in to talk about pictures, but somebody needed to hear it. Somebody needed to hear this, Stacy. So
exactly,
we're here. We're here. So
if you've been procrastinating getting your headshot photos, you probably do need to hear this. So somebody may need to hear it.
A lot of people say, oh, I'm not photogenic, or, oh, I hate all the pictures when I get a photographer to take it, blah, blah. Well, the reason is the camera's job is to capture your essence, your personality, you, right? Not just the physical you, but it captures you. So the problem, a lot of people come into this studio and the first thing they're thinking is, oh my God, my hair's doing this weird thing. Oh, I hate my hair like this. Oh, I hope I don't look fat. What about that thing on my neck? Oh, I hate it. Why is the photographer turning me this way? I hate this is not my good side. Oh my God. And what happens? The camera captures all of those insecurities. And so when people look at that picture, they see your insecurities. Subconsciously, they see your insecurities. So even though you may physically look pretty or beautiful or whatever in that image gives that energy of insecurity because you're insecure. So what I do is the first thing we do is who are we talking to? Okay, these are your ideal clients. What do they need to know about you? All right, now tell me how it feels when you book that client that, your ideal client, and you just saw that payment come into the bank. How's that feel? Ooh, that feels pretty powerful, right? Now I want you to feel powerful and give me that into the camera. And that is the in a nutshell, we can have nutshells on this show, right?
We've got nutshells. Yeah. I think this is a good time to reveal to you, Miss Peggy.
Oh, do I have a squirrel name?
Yeah, everybody either earns or gets a squirrel name on the show. They either happens while they're on the show. It's beginning to happen before they get to the show. And
we've known each other for a minute, so
I'm going to say that, Peggy, you had a different squirrel name, but then something happened this week.
Oh no. Was it a LinkedIn post?
And you got a new squirrel name.
Body slam hug squirrel.
Body slam hug squirrel who has a camera around her neck, and she is going to gently body slam you into that perfect photograph, even if you've been procrastinating getting your headshots done.
So RJ Redden was on your show last week, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I was in a meeting with RJ Redden and I said, I'm going to bully somebody. And RJ's like, we don't bully people here. And I was like, how about a body slam hug then? So I'm going to put that on a t-shirt, Stacey. That is going on a t-shirt.
Moments after that interaction, the graphic was created and and I just did not reveal it to you. It has been revealed to a few people.
Okay, that's
no, I didn't. I waited. Procrastination isn't when you wait. I waited, and it was all I could do.
Intentional waiting is just waiting.
It's all I could do to not show you your squirrel name now. But I have experienced Miss Peggy's body slam hug squirrel, and that's why it even made more sense, because I think sometimes in our business, we avoid businessing. Like she said, we procrastinate it because it scares us. We procrastinate it because we don't know how to do it. We procrastinate because we're insecure on how to do the businessing, the things. And we don't know who to ask. We don't know what to do. And we get frozen in that procrastination and it keeps us stuck.
Stacey, I ran a business for 15 years. And if you would have asked me at any time in those 15 years, I would have looked at you and with my whole chest said, yes, I'm a business owner. I run a photography business, until I realized I wasn't running a business. And I did know there was pitfalls and I did know I wasn't doing everything right. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to ask because I was embarrassed, because I wasn't just starting. I wasn't a new business owner. And I had new business owner questions because I wasn't doing business right. And so then I felt like, well, people are going to think, and this is a word that I don't say lightly. So this is a cuss word. Is it okay if I cuss on your show?
You have to. It's kind of a requirement on this show.
Okay. I felt stupid. And I know that's like one of the harshest cuss words that I hate that word.
It's a harsh word.
But I did. I felt really stupid. And I felt embarrassed to ask anybody because I was like, well, I'm a business owner. I've never had a real job. I've always had my own business, and I don't know how to do a profit and loss or whatever it may be, whatever it was. I don't know how to do this thing that's really important to business. And I don't know how to set up a marketing, and I don't know, for 15 years, word of mouth is all I needed. And now I've got to figure out how to market myself. And I need to have these things in place that I didn't have in place, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm dyslexic. I am very dyslexic. I was 11 years old before I started to learn how to read. And I only bring that up because that's my neurospicy superpower. It's one of the things that's why stupid is in my book a really, really terrible word, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm not stupid, but that's how society and people wanted to make me feel, because I didn't fit into the box that they wanted me. I didn't learn the way they wanted me to learn. Now, keep in mind, I was 11 and I had to tell my teachers that I didn't know how to read. They had no clue I couldn't read. That's how stupid I was. I had made it through to the fourth grade.
Yeah. So what you're saying is I'm glad you bring up the word stupid, because the word stupid is similarly to the word nuts. Mm-hmm. Neither of those should have stigma attached to them, and neither of them should be negative connotations. I think the word stupid itself may have even more negative connotation and has more negative, that it creates negative belief systems about ourselves. Nuts may or may not have, I mean, we could go into the minutia of that, but really it doesn't matter, because what matters is when you put a label on someone that has any kind of negative connotation, negative belief. They know just by the tone of voice that somebody's using. So you work with making sure to bring out that real person in a photo. I work at bringing that real person out in an interaction so that they can meet and see their real self, and they can meet and see the real self underneath the one that has those negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, negative emotions, and baggage about themselves. So they can actually meet the person that's underneath that and get to know that that person is valued, is respected, is worthy of being a human, just like the others. I'm not going to argue with you about the word neurospicy in here, but I someday ask me about that, because I think it's a word that in a way has become a way for people to put labels on something, to either highlight it because they think that normal is a thing, and normal doesn't actually happen. They think that it makes them stand out and different. And the thing is 8.2 billion people on this planet, and 8.2 billion of us are neurospicy.
Right.
Every single one of us is neurospicy. Now, that said, I love that you have your neurospicy human trick, your Peggy McCarthy magic. Includes bringing people's real self out on that camera, includes being so smart that the teachers don't know that you can't read. That includes you bringing communities together every 3 months in an amazing event that I have been a part of since the beginning. Blessed that I have. I love that those are your those are your spices. That's your spice mix. But I want people to understand that when somebody says neurospicy and another person has a reaction to that going, oh, see, there they go again, saying they're whatever. No, every single one of us on this planet has a different.
We are all unique in the exact same
We are
ways.
all spicy AF. New hashtag on the show. We got new hashtags a lot of times too. Break stigma. Stigma wine is another hashtag, because we talked about stigma wine in the episode with Simon Messmer. If you haven't seen that, go check it out in the past episodes. But yeah, spicy AF. Peggy, you are.
I am spicy AF.
And yeah. So, so I'm gonna back up into our procrastinative thing, and also I'm going to talk about kind of a composite client that I've had. And I have a feeling that you, in the business scenario, have had this same client. So we'll call this client Sarah.
Okay.
And I'm just going to a couple things about Sarah, and let's see if we can figure out ways we could help Sarah from both a business perspective and a self perspective. So Sarah has brilliant ideas that she never starts. We know she's got the ideas because she talks about them. She's in coffee with me on Thursdays and talks about them. She's in the Global Business Plaza and talks about them, but she never starts anything. And we know they're brilliant ideas. We're excited about her ideas. She has endless planning. Plan, spreadsheets, mind map boards, lots of chat GPT discussions, but there's no execution. Nothing is moving forward. She's got I'm not ready on a if it were a record player, it'd be like she'd have multiple records and they'd all drop down, and then she'd put the stack up and, oh, I just aged myself. Let me try that again. She's just got the little podcast thing, or the little media file thing on repeat. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And we're not even sure why she's not ready, because she's got lots of ideas. She's got them all planned. What is she not ready with? She feels like she's lazy. Others may have told her in her life, you're lazy. You don't ever do anything. You say you want to do this, but then you never do it. So you're lazy. But actually, she's overwhelmed. She's like a deer in the headlights. She can't see where she's going because she's stuck. So it's this pattern over and over. And it's not a character flaw. It's her nervous system protecting her from something. So has Sarah been your client or my? Well, she's probably been both of our clients.
Well, like I said, I work with creative business people.
Here we go.
So the answer would be yes. We have lots of Sarahs. We touched about the Global Business Plaza, but I know we started talking about photography, which, is because somebody needed to hear that, I'm sure. But seriously, my gift is helping empower business people to make money. I'm really good at helping you make money. It's this amazing gift I have. Does it always work on me? No, it does not. I need to find another person with a gift for me, I guess. But I have a great gift of making people money. And I think it's because I can really see and relate to things. Yes, it is probably photography because I'm used to actually looking deep and seeing things like make sure there isn't a tree branch out of somebody's head, and understanding if there is, all I have to do is move this much and that problem is solved. And that's really usually all it is in life too. In business, it's like you think that, oh my God, this is just terrible, we can't use it. And really all you need to do is shift this teeny little bit. And I'm really good at helping people see that and shift just that tiny little bit. And I also know what it feels like.
Scared of.
I also know what it feels like to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
I also know what it feels like to feel stupid. I also know what it feels like to feel like I don't belong. And I think those are all reasons why we procrastinate. That's our, like you were saying, that's our safety net. That's our little armor that covers us. Because what if we do this and somebody laughs at us? What if we do this and we do it wrong? What if we do this and it doesn't work? I'm the what if we do it and it doesn't work and we had a great time and we all laugh about it and we try it again later.
Kind of like
what?
Like trying to pre-record a show.
Exactly.
And we realize we're live. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know,
go look at the YouTube.
But I love that you bring in some of these myths, because there are myths there. I've got 3 of them here I want to read to you. And I want to see if we can go through. One of them is the one we've been talking about, of procrastination equals laziness. And the truth of that one is actually it's fear of not being good enough. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that you're afraid that you are not good enough. And fear is our one emotion that lives in the future. And I have tips and tricks that can help you go out into the future and get rid of that little booger and then come back and work on things. If you're interested in that, check out stacybryoka.com and book a consultation with me. Let's talk. Because seriously, no one should live in fear of anything anymore. And anxiety. Fear and anxiety. We shouldn't live in that. And that, speaking as somebody who had generalized anxiety disorder for 40 years. And when I learned this thing, it literally put my generalized anxiety disorder in remission. And I am not afraid to say that on a camera, in a show, or live to anybody. And that's as a therapist who, during that 40 years, almost 25 of it was a therapist and knew things I could use. Mm-hmm. But those things did not work for me. So I'm saying that I have now multiple tricks that'll work with that, because we have all of the powers we need to live in this life in here, in our unconscious mind. We just need help bringing them out. Like Peggy bringing out the real person in the photo. I bring out the real person so that you can be the real you. Not to throw a complete commercial in there, but our nervous system, our unconscious mind, does things to protect us. And when we feel like we're being told we're lazy, we're being told we're stupid, then we have that fear and that emotion of I'm not good enough comes bubbling up. And it's the one that makes the decision for us instead of the one that has all the planning done and has amazing ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our nervous system in freeze response. The other myth is just push through it. That forcing yourself through the thing will make it happen. And that's no different, I think, than when you were talking about people being on camera and just going, okay, well, just force it. Just put your chin out this way and turn this way. And
The little cheesy smile, right?
yeah, that's not going to be the best portrait.
Mm-hmm. I know for me that when I have something to do and I just can't do it, if I try to push through it, A, it takes me forever to do it, and B, it's never good. So a lot of those things I have learned just to let them set, like not force it.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it brew, because a lot of it is just me trying to work it out in my head. Like it's working back here while I'm doing these other things. And then when it snaps, it's like boom, and then I get it done and it's fine. And then I'm like, why didn't I just do that 2 weeks ago? And then I'm like, because you couldn't have done it 2 weeks ago. I couldn't have.
Right.
But now,
And
or like 2 hours ago.
Take your hands and put them together like this. And you're pushing through it with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then this hand, it doesn't want to do the thing. What happens when you're do you have a feeling in your body, in your hands right now?
Right. It's pressure.
It's pressure. So force on this side creates resistance on this side.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating you're giving yourself even more freeze and more stuck by forcing something that's creating more resistance, and you're not moving it's not moving anywhere.
Not moving it. It's not going anywhere.
Relax your hands and think about something, maybe go for a walk. And it seems so counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
In our society, we're socialized to just do it. Nike, no shade to Nike, but just do it. Just do it doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work. Now, there are things that I do say, all right, I'm just doing this. Yeah. But when it comes to those things where I feel stuck and frustrated, I'm like, you know what? Why? Because when you try
and push through and it's not working,
then it's like, just stop. I'm going to
stop.
I'm going to go walk the dogs. I'm going to go work on another project. I always have another project to work on. If
you're an entrepreneur and don't have just another project brewing, come talk to Peggy and I will help you build more projects to talk about, because if you don't have that many going, it's okay. It's all right, but we'll help you come up with more, which brings me to one of the things I do when I'm stuck. I go to our favorite place in the world, # this is my go brunch, and check in with my peeps. Check in with I call you guys my coworkers. Yeah. We meet in rooms just like this studio looks like. And it's really cool because you can find where your friends are at any given time. And if I'm stuck on something, one of the best things I can do is either go have a laugh with Peggy or go give her my dilemma and she stirs another idea for me, or whoever it is I can find. And you frequently, I think, finding your friends or your coworkers.
Sometimes it's not even about like, hey, I'm stuck. I need your idea of it. Sometimes it's just about saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if I go to Stacy and I say, I'm working on this thing, blah, 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 blah. By the time I'm at the end, it's like, thank you. Got it. Bye.
I'm like, okay, what did I do? But
it's just giving yourself that space and that permission to not know everything all of the time. I was raised by perfectionists.
Which brings on procrastination like nobody's business.
So the permission to not know everything all of the time and be perfect is a big thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because if you feel like you have to be perfect all the time, you are going to procrastinate over and over and over again. And if you finally have permission to not be perfect, permission to experiment, our friend RJ, one of the things she does, she does it so smoothly, I'll say, is she is constantly, I know that behind the scenes, she is constantly trying little experiments, and we may or may not even know it. Those of us who, even if you know her, you may or may not know what kind of little experiment she's trying to see what it does, so that then she can go, aha, hey guys, guess what I found? And then we're all surprised that she found this new cool thing, and it was because she was doing an experiment to see if it worked.
So can I tell a story about Peggy?
Well,
or do you need to get through your?
You are Peggy. How are we going to?
And I have a really good story about her.
Absolutely, especially if it has to do with procrastination and perfectionism. That's
it has to do with perfectionism. So okay. I work with business people, and I'm always telling people, done is better than perfect. Like, you don't have, it's fine if it's not perfect. You're going to learn, you're going to keep going. Like, I've told everybody that knows me or worked with me knows I tell you that. Yep. Does Peggy practice these same things? Not always. Mostly no.
Not always.
So I decided to do a speed networking. Do you remember? Did you come to this first speed networking? Were you there?
I unfortunately I was not there because it was during my husband time.
Okay. So I decided to do a speed networking on Go Brunch. Never been done before. I mean, I had asked people, they said it had never been done. 78 people signed up. What could possibly go wrong? I tested everything. I tried everything, blah, blah, blah. I believe around 53 people actually showed up. It did not go smooth. I'm sitting here as the administrator watching the world just crumble. And I was just like, I was embarrassed. I was ready to just like, I was like, I have all these people here. A lot of them are brand new people, first time they've met me, and I failed. This is a nightmare. Oh. So after like 15 minutes of just not knowing what to do, I called everybody back into the main room. And I was going to say, thanks for trying this experiment. Go home. And I call everybody back, and everyone is laughing. Everyone is like, oh my God, this is the best networking event I've ever been to. And they're like, just like, and I'm like, what? And I was like, they're like, why'd you call us back? We want to go back to networking. What do you want, Peggy? Leave us alone. And I was like, okay, carry on.
Well, you were in shock of, what did I do? Wait a minute, I did something right. They like it.
And yes, it did not work the way it was supposed to. And
or maybe it did work the way it was supposed to, not just the way you envisioned it.
It was messy. It was not supposed to be messy because I'm Peggy and I test things and I make things smooth and I make things look like it's easy. And that's what I do. And that was one of the biggest lessons. And I love that because I'm the only one that thought it failed. And how many times do you do something that you're convinced failed and you didn't even take the time to ask anybody else what they thought about it? Like, it may have been the thing that changed their life. They may have seen something, or you may have said something, or something may have happened that made that thing click. And that was the most powerful thing they've ever been to or done in their whole life. And you're over here throwing a temper tantrum because you weren't perfect and it failed. And so people made money. People met clients in this networking. Like, people met friends, people to collaborate with, and people to sell stuff to. Like, that was not a failure. And they had fun. Like, they had so much fun.
It definitely wasn't a failure. If they had fun, it could not have been. Fun and fail do not go in the same sentence.
And I was ready to tell everybody to go home. I'm done. I was mad. I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I was like, oh my God, I was shame, embarrassment, all those words is what I was feeling. And I was, and that's not what was happening. So a lot of times the things that make you procrastinate aren't real.
Well, and that's what I wonder is had you just shut the computer off and walked away and not heard them say, hey, wait a minute, we were having fun,
I would have never done it again.
You might not have just not done that again. You may have procrastinated doing anything in your business again. You wouldn't be on this show.
Right. I really was, I was embarrassed.
Yeah, because and that's it's like how the dominoes stack up there. And that's how those limiting beliefs are created when you make a decision in a moment that you are blah, 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 not good enough, not pretty enough, not whatever enough, not whatever. When you make that, as soon as you make that decision based on something that happens, you create a limiting belief in yourself that impacts your decision-making going forward and keeps you from being able to do the things you want to do, be who you really are meant to be, and have everything that you can have. And it's just, we aren't socialized to realize that we can undo those things. Just like programming this thing we're sitting in right now, this computer. And both of us happen to be in a group called Hackers, so we're pretty good at hacking stuff. That's a whole different show. But programming a machine, you can also program this machine. And this machine can program itself. That's the difference between the two machines. This one cannot program itself. It has to have a human to do it. This one can program itself. That is the power that we each have. So I want to tell people real quick about a workshop that's going to happen the afternoon of this pre-recorded show on Tuesday, August 12th at 2 p.m. Central. So that would be 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, and noon Pacific. There is going to be a free workshop on procrastination. So if you've heard some things that really resonate with you, come join me over in Go Brunch and transform your procrastination pattern. You're going to get ways to identify your specific procrastination triggers, understand your nervous system's protection patterns, creating a personal action plan, and connecting with others on the same journey. We're going to move from stuck in protection to flowing in action. And I am super excited about it. There will be a link in this, in the show notes to sign up, but it's really easy. StaceyBryoka.com/events. And that will take you to my Luma calendar where you will be able to you'll be able to see all the events, including that one. Let me find my event. Well, I thought I had a QR code for it, but I don't. So let me see if I can find a banner that has my I can't find it. I'm just going to type it in while we're at it. So StaceyBryoka.com/events. That will go to my Luma calendar. You will see the workshop and this show and my Thursday coffees, along with events of other friends and coworkers on Go Brunch. There's lots of fun things happening over there all the time. You also have the link running on the bottom of the screen to get a hold of Peggy. That's a shortened link because the link we had was kind of long. And you can learn more about how to get unstuck in your business and move yourself, just really move yourself forward. Come join in a community that helps each other, hold each other accountable, and move forward. And that community in Go Brunch is really just costs a Go Brunch account, which is not much. So come join us on those. Let me see what else I was going to tell people about.
Does that short link, does that go to chatwithpeggy.com or does that go to the Global Business Plaza?
It goes to Global Business Plaza is where that one goes to. So we're going to do a quick little set of an activity of nutty nuggets and see which ones you will try this week. So I'm going to give you 3 nutty nuggets and see which one you're going to try before our workshop. And Peggy, you're going to have some little extra time because we're pre-recording this ahead of time. So you'll be able to tell us which one you're going to try before Tuesday's show. So 3 tools for moving through procrastination today. The first one is the 2-minute brave. And it's set a timer for 2 minutes and do the scariest AF task that you can think of or that you have on your LE planner. And we'll have to tell you about the LE planner here in a minute. Turn your timer on, 2 minutes, do your scariest task for that 2 minutes. Just the 2 minutes. Don't go 2 minutes and 1 second. Just 2 minutes. The second one is the good enough draft. And I know my friend RJ Redden will love this one. Maybe. The good enough draft is to create a 60% perfect draft of something to break your freeze. So I don't know if we talked about blank page syndrome with RJ. It doesn't say you can't use any tools. It's create a 60% perfect draft to break your freeze and your blank page syndrome. The third one is the safety check. Ask, and this is one that goes deep. It sounds easy, but this is go down into your heart, down into your gut. Breathe and think to yourself and be truthful with yourself. What am I protecting myself from? That one's the one that's going to possibly bring up the most stuff. It's going to bring up the feels. And just because you're thinking of it doesn't mean you have to tell anybody that one necessarily, but it's because it might be scary of what you're protecting yourself from. But if you're truthful with yourself about what you're protecting yourself from, then just like that tree that's going out somebody's head and Peggy shifting the camera, it's likely all it's going to take is shift yourself to get away from that thing you're protecting yourself from. So it's a powerful one. So we've got the 2-minute brave, the good enough draft, and the safety check.
Okay, so I kind of live by the 2-minute brave. I mean, I set a timer. It's like it may be a 12-minute timer, it may be a whatever, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on it for this amount of time, and then I just do that. So I do that. I implement that already. That's probably my most powerful tool. Then the blank page, I don't feel like I'm ever, Stacy, I don't ever have a blank page.
There's a time in my life I would have bowed at your feet on that one because it terrified me and caused me so much trouble. Now, thanks to the GPTs, I have the opposite now. I have so much content I can't. So, but I used to have it really bad. I would put a paragraph of something that wasn't even my words, my work, or have anything to do with the paper I needed to in school.
So literally anytime I read something or hear something that causes me any kind of emotion, whether it's a good emotion or a negative emotion, I throw that into my LE. That goes in my brain dump. Because if you read any of my LinkedIn posts, like, oh, that's real. Like something happened that made me write that story. Like I didn't just like, oh, I need content today. Like something probably pissed me off that caused me to write that story.
Mine too. And I do that now too with Ellie is when I have the feels come up about something. And in a way, it's like using the safety check of what I'm protecting myself from.
Mhm.
Sometimes that safety check turns into an article for me, or sometimes a client of mine will have a will have a live safety check that'll happen. Like I'm helping them find out what they're protecting themselves from. And I'm also having a hit, like an idea. I have a gut hit of something to help them. And we put that together and that turns into my articles. Now you'll never know what client it is, of course, because I'm not going to breach anybody's confidentiality, and you won't even possibly know that it's a client. The story that comes up and what you see is going to be the lesson that came from that. But I think that helps keep me out of procrastination in writing and writing my articles, because I always have a vault full of potential article. I could write every day, probably till the end of the year, and still have articles in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the one that would be that is not would be is something that I need to do more often is check in. What am I protecting myself from? Because even though I am almost 55 years old, like there is that little girl that was abused, that lived in a really scary environment for a long, long time, and I don't need to protect her anymore. Like she turned out to be a super badass, powerful, smart businesswoman, a really cool person. But
She is. I
sometimes,
know her. You should
right?
know her.
But
Yeah.
sometimes she's this little five-year-old in the corner that's really scared
Yeah.
of silly things. And so I think that's where it's
Well, but silly is another word like nuts.
it
And that's
is. It
stupid, right?
is because that's invalidating a real true emotion and a real true
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And so, I think that me
But
remembering to stop.
we protect ourselves. We protect
Mhm.
that little self from those feels. And the feels, here's how, and I don't know if this will help, but how I have started doing the what am I protecting myself from? I actually kind of have that on alert all the time.
Mhm.
I'm trying to train myself to have it on alert all the time, such that when anything happens anywhere, like in a meeting, in the car driving to Michigan with my mom, in out at dinner with my husband, watching a TV show, if my feels come up
Mhm.
and they are negative feels, I go, "Oh, wonder what that's from." And I literally sometimes frequently, not when I was driving, but I will frequently close my eyes. That one I didn't close my eyes when that happened in the car.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, yeah.
We all feel much
How
safer.
this is how we both made it back from and I those of you who don't know, last week I was on an amazing trip with my mom to Michigan, and someday I'll have a show about it too, but it's still it's gonna affect me for a long time. It was a really special trip. Um, but I will close my eyes, or I'll just go inside and go, "Okay, what are those feels coming up? What are they? What are they in reaction to?" And sometimes I'll deal with it right away, but frequently I might just, like you said, kind of like send it to I'll even put it in my Ellie. Blah, blah, blah happened, blah, blah, blah feels. This is what I think it is. And I'll literally type myself an email and send that email to Ellie. And then when it gets over to Ellie, I'll put it over in my writing category, or either in my writing folder or my learnings folder. So you can create folders. And so if
Mhm.
those of you who don't know about Ellie, Ellie is an amazing planner that I found. And, I like gadgets and everything, predominantly software, but apparently my mom says I have lots of hardware gadgets. Anyway, I like finding tools that help move things forward. And to me, tools help keep me out of procrastination.
Mhm.
And I think I also like playing with the tools to see what they'll do and to see what they're going to do 20 years from now, so that I can help other people implement those things, so that that keeps them moving forward. And
Mhm.
Ellie's an example that when I found it, I was using it and I was loving it. And Peggy and I were in a room together one day, and she's like, she's talking about emails. I think we were sharing our disdain for emails, our shared disdain. and or like, I hate having all my to-dos in my emails. I don't like going through the emails anyway, but I have a process for it. I go through the emails and throw out all the trash. Then I go through and find out the things that I can act on immediately. And then the last thing I do is the things that can't, I used to mark them. Now I go through and throw out the trash. I go through, and anything I can do within like 1 minute, I do immediately. Sometimes those go to Ellie also, but for the most part, they're just things I can get done. And then the ones that still need done, I forward to this tool called Ellie. So it's Ellie Planner. And Peggy and I were sharing our disdain for emails and getting through them. And I said, hey, check this out. And she checked it out. And so did my friend Jessica. And I think a couple other people have. Other people have found this. And one of the cool things about it is you can forward an email to it. And it's a task list. It creates task lists you can move to different days. You can put things in different categories and different lists and different colors, different high, medium, and low priorities. You can grab a task and put it directly onto your Google Calendar, and it'll block out time on your Google Calendar for it. And it's all in one place. It goes on all of my devices, my phone, my iPad, and my computer, and keeps it synchronized. The more you can keep something synchronized, the more you can take off friction of having to go to 6 different tools to get things done. When you are not procrastinating based on feels, you have a list you can go to and go, I'm slamming these out. Or you can go to your list and say, I'm going to do the 2-minute brave on a task on my Ellie list.
Well, and you can check it off and it disappears. And there's just something about checking off stuff. Like, I'm not alone in this. Like, it's a thing, right?
Tell the preach, girl, preach.
I mean, just to wake up in the morning and to see all my things and to be able to go as I'm going through it. And I have 3 monitors. And so my Ellie lives on my little tiny monitor, my laptop screen to my left. And so I just always kind of check in like, okay, I have time to do this. And I do this and I'm like, oh, I've got extra time before my next appointment. I can get this done really quick because I want to make the check mark.
Isn't it? The check mark is so real. And then at the end of the day, you can go through and go review my day, and it shows you all the things you did. So then I wasn't lazy today. I got a bunch of shit done.
I got a bunch of stuff done.
And so the check mark that, tools help give us that. And that's why gamification works. It gives us those good feels. So every time you check off, you have feels come up, but these are good feels, not the bad feels. And there's something about, really all of that is energy and frequency. Our frequency when we're told we're lazy, we have a low frequency. Our frequency when we check something off, when we see a list of things we've done, it's, I rocked that day. And that brings your frequency up. And what that does is makes you the next day or the next time you look at tasks go, well, I can tackle this. I tackled a whole bunch yesterday. I'm good. Let's go.
Yep. I can do it.
And the more you do it, the more you do it, and the more you can do.
Absolutely.
I think we did a bunch today here, Peggy.
I think we did too. And if they want to know more about Ellie, they should go watch our little oopsie from the other day. That's
even because and we turned what could have been seen as a negative thing into something fun. That's all I'll say.
Exactly, because it's always fun to hang out with Stacy anyway.
Well, it's always fun to hang out with Peggy. So I'm going to say there's a couple of, I think, key takeaways that people should have from today, and come to the workshop, because we're going to go into these same things and talk about them even more. But procrastination is protection. It's not a character flaw. Resilience, not force, helps us move through fear safely. Resilience being more the bravery to look within, to look at ourselves. And that small, brave actions, like scooching just sideways so that tree's not going out of your head, create big or break the big stuck patterns. Small, brave actions break the big stuck patterns. 2 p.m. Central. Check out staceybrioka.com/events and sign up for the workshop. You never know. Peggy might be there. She's in and around the Go Brunches here and there. I want to thank you so much for spending even more than an hour with me.
I've had so much fun. And thank you for not making me get up and be camera ready at 7 a.m. Thank you for pre-recording this. I will probably be here listening.
I would have gotten a body slam hug.
Yes. Yes.
And it would have been a good body slam hug, but it also still kind of would have been Peggy's not. No. Do I have to?
I would have if you gave me no choice, but I'm glad that we had a choice. And I really hope that if anybody is curious, check out the plaza, check out all the different things, or just, go to chatwithpeggy.com and come hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you've never been in a Zoom type room that looks like the one we're in, you're missing out. So yeah, go to chatwithpeggy.com, jump in. Go to squirrelwrangler.com, check in with me at the Squirrel Wranglers tree. Last week, we invited people to go to the comerightin.com. There's lots of fun to be had over there. Fun, shenanigans, and serious business. Super serious business happens all the time.
Super serious business.
Sometimes we're not serious when we're doing it, but it's super serious business. So I shall see you next week on Show Me Your Nuts, and I'm trying to remember what the next. I don't have the next show handy, so
it'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise.
It'll be good though. I bet it's going to be good.
It will still be on resilience. We're going to go through some more about resilience because August is Resilience Month. And that way we can all be ready for that whole back to school time. If you're a parent and you have kids in back to school, or if you're somebody who works that way, and you got to go back to work. If you're those of us who work all the time, you're building your resilience to get ready for that period of time where we balance holidays and family and things, and that we're getting ready for our next year. There's lots of reasons that we need to build that foundation under us. And, it comes from having people around who you can share things with, who can help you when you're frustrated because you're going, I think I failed, but you hadn't. So we will see you next time. And I'm hoping that Peggy will be back too sometime.
Oh, just say the word. I'll be back.
There you go. You guys, show me your nuts.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.